It's truly remarkable. Mephibosheth was grateful for what he had, and he was seeking nothing more. He enjoyed peace of mind and heart. If a matter involving slander or fraud arises today, a Christian may choose to follow Jesus' instructions at Matthew 18:15 through 17. However, if for some reason following that procedure does not fully resolve the matter, he or she may choose to pursue it no further and suffer loss rather than disturb the peace of the congregation. We can leave any unresolved issues with Jehovah, knowing that He sees what we do and what others do, and He will carry out justice at the right time. For our own benefit, we really must try to let go of resentment. When we do, we benefit ourselves. When we forgive others, Jehovah forgives us. Now, that doesn't mean that we minimize or excuse the wrong conduct of fellow believers, no. But it does mean that we imitate Mephibosheth by letting go of resentment and pursuing peace.
This, in a nutshell, is the Jehovah's Witness attitude towards child sexual abuse. We've been hearing from William Malenfant, a helper to the teaching committee. He's giving the symposium talk, How They Sowed and Reaped Peace, Mephibosheth. You heard him at the start of the clip refer to Mephibosheth as grateful for what he had and as seeking nothing more and enjoying peace of mind and heart. If you were to watch the whole talk, which you're free to do on jw.org, I'm trying to spare you as much kind of long, tedious, monotonous material as possible. But just to kind of clue you in, William Malenfant opens with the story of Mephibosheth and how a man named Ziba defrauded him. Ziba was appointed by David to administer land that had been given to Mephibosheth, land that had previously belonged to Mephibosheth's grandfather Saul. It's dubious, by the way, that any of this happened. There's no archaeological or secular evidence for any of this, but taking the story at face value, Mephibosheth was supposed to have this land, and through a complicated series of events, Ziba committed slander against Mephibosheth and ended up owning half of the land when in fact all of it should have belonged to Mephibosheth. And Mephibosheth, it's quite hard to keep saying that name, Mephibosheth is supposed to be exemplary in basically rolling over and allowing an injustice to occur for the sake of peace. That's what William Malenfant is referring to here. And coming back to the issue of child sexual abuse, you saw very clearly William Malenfant referring to the fact that the peace of the congregation should be the utmost concern.
However, if for some reason following that procedure does not fully resolve the matter, he or she may choose to pursue it no further and suffer loss rather than disturb the peace of the congregation. We can leave any unresolved issues with Jehovah, knowing that He sees what we do and what others do, and He will carry out justice at the right time.
Now, granted, the talk doesn't even mention child sexual abuse. It's talking here about issues involving fraud or slander. But I would argue that it's very telling of the culture in the Jehovah's Witness organization. This notion that nothing should be allowed to disrupt the peace of the congregation, even if someone has been wronged. The person who has been wronged should be thinking about the peace of the congregation rather than obtaining personal justice. And one avenue that's open to Jehovah's Witnesses is, as William Malenfant mentioned, the Matthew 18 procedure. If you want, we can read it. Matthew 18, verses 15 to 17. Moreover, if your brother commits a sin, go and reveal his fault between you and him alone. If he listens to you, you have gained your brother. But if he does not listen, take along with you one or two more, so that on the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses every matter may be established. If he does not listen to them, speak to the congregation. If he does not listen even to the congregation, let him be to you just as a man of the nations and as a tax collector. It's a little bit complicated because this process is sort of applied to situations that are serious but not necessarily gross sin. In other words, if gross sin is committed by a Jehovah's Witness, the person informing the elders can just bypass this whole procedure. They don't have to confront the individual necessarily. If they find out that someone's been having sex with a consenting adult to whom they're not married, they can just go straight to the elders and tell them, and the elders will be all over that person like a rash. But when it comes to tensions and disagreements, and as we've seen here, cases involving fraud, so let's say a Jehovah's Witness owes money to someone in the congregation and they're refusing to pay it back. That wouldn't be classed as a gross sin, even though really it's stealing. That would be classed as something that the 2 brothers, the 2 witnesses, need to thrash out one way or the other. One way could be by applying Matthew 18 and bringing in witnesses and having mediation and that sort of thing. But another option, according to William Malenfant, is to just let the whole thing go. Leave the matter in Jehovah's hands. And isn't that exactly the advice that elders have been given when it comes to how they deal with offences, including child sexual abuse? This attitude of leaving it all up to Jehovah, of pretending that one day everything will just magically right itself and all injustice will be somehow corrected one way or the other. That is the Jehovah's Witness mentality, and that is the attitude that has caused child sexual abuse to be so rampant in this organisation.